Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Saturday, 19th of November 2022. In today's Millwall news, we have been linked with a young striker from Brighton and Hove Albion. This is from the Daily Mail.co.uk, and let's have a read of what's happening. So, Championship clubs line up to loan Brighton starler Evan Ferguson after the 18-year-old made his Republic of Ireland debut, with Sheffield United, Millwall and Middlesbrough among those interested in the striker. Let's have a read of this. This is from Simon Jones for the Mail on Sunday. Brighton and Hove Albion striker Evan Ferguson is attracting interest from a host of Championship clubs after making his international debut this week. The 18-year-old has made just 5 first-team appearances for Brighton, became the 4th youngest player to appear for the Republic of Ireland, and he came on as a substitute against Norway on Thursday, and he's expected to be part of the side that faces Malta on Sunday. Brighton beat Liverpool to sign him from Bohemians, and he scored his first senior goal for them earlier this season against Forest Green Rovers in the Carabao Cup. Brighton handed him a contract until 2026, but have had a number of clubs looking to take him on loan in January. High-flying Sheffield United, Millwall, Middlesbrough and Birmingham City, Preston North End are all following his progress, as well as Bristol City, Wigan and League One's Ipswich Town. Ferguson made a big impression on his international teammates and has been tipped for a bright future. Evan's an excellent talent and he's a top guy too. Seems like his feet are firmly on the ground, said Ireland and West Brom centre-back Dara O'Shea. So I can imagine he's going to have a long career and a good one at that. In training he's been really good, really buzzing. You wouldn't really think he's the age he is. He's come in, he's made the sort of impact, which is just positive. So there you go, that was it. That is all there is to it. So Troy Parrott Mark II. Is this who he is? I don't know. Let's have a little check by going to whoscored.com. He has just turned 18. He turned 18 almost exactly a month ago, 19th of October. And this is all that he's played for Brighton. This is it. He was a substitute in the Premier League last season. Once he had 22 minutes and got a score of 5.93. And he was a sub in the Football League Cup game last season. Had 9 minutes and got a rating of 6.17. This season, he started against Forest Green Rovers, played all 90 minutes, got 1 goal, 1 assist, and had a passing of 84.6%. And he got a rating of 8.32. And he wasn't the man of the match in that game. I don't think so, because normally it would say that he was. We can find out. So yeah, he had 1 minute against Norway. They were bigging it up, but yeah, he literally had 1 minute. It was a gesture. It wasn't anything meaningful. It was a gesture. So in front of it was an away game at Forest Green Rovers, and Alzate got 8.7, got man of the match. Ferguson 8.3. So he was their second best player, despite getting 1 goal and 1 assist. And the score was 3-0. So there you go. Against Forest Green Rovers side, not very good actually. I believe this is after their manager left. So there you go. That's who he is. We go back and see. There's literally nothing. He's not really done anything apart from that Forest Green Rovers game. Other than that, he hasn't done anything. So I don't know why we're trying to take him on loan. Not the type of player we should probably be looking for. A young lad like that. He's not exactly prolific. Now, I don't know, maybe, here's the thing, I don't know, maybe he's played in for the Brighton under-21s week in, week out, and he's banging them in for them. I haven't checked on that. Maybe he's doing that. But there's a massive leap between even Premier League under-21 teams and Championship first team football. It's not the same. Is it really the kind of signing we want to try and boost us and get us into the top six? Probably not. But we've been linked with him anyway. But again, with a whole load of teams that seemingly we're always linked with. So anytime there's a player that's being linked with Millwall, he's always linked with Middlesbrough as well at the same time. Like the two clubs are kind of always together, trying to chase the same players apparently. Well, but there you go. Talking of strikers, this is southwarknews.co.uk. Zian Flemming shows marked improvement to become Millwall's star man. Starman, scoring all the goals. The Dutchman has been one of the best players in the Championship so far this season, despite needing to adapt to English football. Yeah, he's taken a bit of time, but that's fine as long as he can get going. But it hasn't taken long for Zian Flemming to establish himself as a fan favourite in football. From his immense quality on the pitch to his humble and friendly personality off it, the Dutchman's profile has risen dramatically since arriving in South London back in June. Dubbed the Bermondsey Burkamp by the club supporters, he's already scored 8 goals in just 17 league matches, despite missing the early stages of the campaign through injury. His performances haven't gone unnoticed either. The 24-year-old was nominated for the Championship Player of the Month in October and doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon. His hat-trick against Preston North End on Saturday afternoon is the latest in a line of incredible performances that have helped the Lions climb into the top 6 ahead of the World Cup break. Of course, Gary Rowett recognises what Flemming has brought to the side, highlighting the extra work that he's put in to become one of the best players in the division so far. He's very level-headed, but there's different paths to him, Millwall said. I think I've spoken about his professionalism, the way he recovers. He knows the Championship's a tough league. He's put muscle on, a little bit of extra size on, because he knows he needs that to compete. All he's got is that little bit of quality and composure. I felt his characteristics would suit the Championship, even though he's got that duck bit of quality. He's got that steel and he's got a bit of physicality as well. The other thing that people don't see there is he's a leader. He comes in and he's starting to give people information. He understands the game really well. He's a very easy player to be able to tell him something tactically. He gets it straight away. He can help some of the other players. I think there's lots of attributes, but he's a really mature young guy, an incredibly future ahead of him if he keeps working as hard as that. But our players as well, we're a hard-working team. I think our players appreciate what he brings to us as an individual. We spoke about that last year with someone like Jed Wallace leaving, but I felt Zian would bring something different to the table and different attributes, make us a different type of team. So there you go. And Zian Flemming, speaking of him, he has made the team of the month, because obviously there's only 3 games in November. They've started saying what the teams of the month and goal of the month are, and Charlie Cresswell and Zian Flemming have been named in WhoScored.com Sky Bet Championship Team of the Month in November 2022. And with ratings of 7.70 and 7.79 across the 3 games in the month, the pair make their way into the starting lineup. So there you go, and there he is. There's the rest of the players there who made the team. Ched Evans, who was on the losing end, which if you remember, Gary Rowett used him as an example and said, "Look what he's doing. Do what he's doing." He said that at half time, like, if he can do it, you can do it too. And there you go. Now moving on to this. A little bit more from thedailycannon.com. kind of like the Daily Mirror for Arsenal, Daily Cannon, about the FA Youth Cup game. So Arsenal learn they're opening the FA Youth Cup draw. I'm going to bring you because it's a bit more detail about what we can expect now. That there on the left is their manager, the under-18 manager. That is Jack Wilshere. Remember him? He's Benica Fobi's best mate. But Arsenal have drawn Millwall in the FA Youth Cup third round, but they may be without some of their best players for the match. Aha, ha 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 ha. The FA Youth Cup is traditionally a competition that Arsenal take very, very seriously, despite the fact it's an under-18 tournament. Normally, Arsenal's top 17-year-olds would be playing in the under-21s instead of competitions like the Premier League or under-18 Premier League Cup. But the FA Youth Cup is an exception. Yeah, this is what you get. So Arsenal's under-21s, you'd think, well, the players who are under 21 and are contracted at Arsenal will play for their under 21s. No, you are wrong. They are on loan because they're on the brink of first team football, and if they're not getting it at Arsenal, they need to be getting it elsewhere, so they are on loan. So what you've got playing for the under 21s at Arsenal are the better players for the age groups underneath. So you've got under 19s, under 18s, and even they say here under 17s. Playing for the under 21s. I think as long as you're over the age of, I think it's either 16 or 15, you can play for the under 21s. Arsenal will usually name their strongest possible side in the cup, with Bukayo Saka continuing to play in it even after he makes his debut in the Senior FA Cup. Current under 18 head coach Jack Wilshere is sure to take it all seriously, having won the cup himself as a player, so it's generally a competition to keep an eye on. And Arsenal begin this year's edition with a match at home to Millwall in the third round, with ties to be played before Saturday, 17th of December. Now here's the thing, I've seen a few people saying that's when the ties being played. No, it is not. That is a target date of the last possible day you can play the game. Needs to be played before then, because I believe that the draw for the next round will be made on Friday the 16th. I think that's why they say that. So, but the Gunners may not have their full strength side available for their opening game. Ka-ching, a bit of good luck for Millwall. Here we go. What's happening? So Arsenal's first team will be travelling to Dubai next month, leaving on December the 4th and not returning until the 14th. Aha! The chances of the Youth Cup tie being scheduled outside of those dates are pretty low, given it has to take place by December 17th. Well, here's the thing, if Arsenal rush and push it out, because they've got a couple of weeks before December the 4th, when all the players go, so it's probably too late for next week, but they've got the week after. Monday the 28th, Tuesday the 29th, Wednesday the 30th, Thursday the 31st. They've got that week, so not next week, but the week after. They could schedule it in there. But so any Arsenal youngsters called up for the first team in Dubai will be unavailable. That already reportedly includes star a 16-year-old Miles Lewis Skelly, and it's very likely players like Ruel Walters, Lino Sousa, Bradley Ibrahim, and Irfan Nawaneri join the trip too. With as many as 10 Arsenal first team players at the World Cup, there will be lots of gaps to fill on the Dubai tour. Mikel Arteta will want a squad large enough to play full practice matches, and the youth players listed above are among Arsenal's top talents at the moment, so it makes sense for them to travel to Dubai. Unfortunately, that may well result in a weakened side being sent out to Millwall in the Youth Cup in the third round. Well, we sure hope so, as Millwall fans, don't we? Wilshere will hope he still has enough to reach the next stage and get his top talents back involved then. So what this Daily Cannon's saying, I don't know if they're guessing, they're speculating, they're saying. They said reportedly includes, so maybe there's been an interview by Arteta, and he's saying he's bringing these players with him. Don't know when, but the Arsenal players are at the World Cup. They're not going to be in the training camp in Dubai. So he's saying they're going to take the under-18s with them to fill the numbers. Because obviously the under-21s they can't take because they're already out on loan at other clubs. But they can't take them with them, so it's the next ones available is the under-18 players. Because they're not out on loan yet, because they're still working on what they're doing. So there you go. They could have many as 10 very good players missing for their under-18s. But again, like he says here, they don't go to Dubai until December 4th. What I just said, probably too quick for next week, but the week after, if they try and squeeze that game in, they can send them off on their way, and they could use it as like a trial. So who are you wants to go to Dubai with the first team? We're going to watch this game and we're going to choose the players from this game. Could be a bit tasty for Millwall either way. So there you go, and we still don't know whether that game is going to be played at Boreham Wood or at the Emirates. We still wait, but it does seem to be very interesting tie for the under-18s, and good luck to them. Although I believe they lost quite heavily today at home to Cardiff 4-1, so that's not good. Now, talking of the World Cup, here we go. This is from the Sun.co.uk. Pride of Lions. We're Russian Millwall fans. Russian Millwall fans. Putin's war won't stop us cheering on England at the World Cup. From a British pub in Moscow. This is the Churchill pub in Moscow. Some of you may have seen it already online and whatnot, pictures. I do post on various message boards and stuff and Facebook groups. Anyone been to this pub? Anyone been out to Russia? I don't know. I'm quite liking the sound of it actually. I wouldn't mind going out there. So yeah, it's quite a long one, so I'm gonna have to just quickly run through it. Russia's biggest Millwall fans have vowed to cheer on England at the World Cup, saying the war in Ukraine won't stop them from following the sport that they love. Britain and Russia remain at loggerheads as the UK is one of the biggest supporters of Kiev against the brutal war being waged by Vladimir Putin. That's a bit subjective. Maxim Prokorenko, bottom right. And you can see they've got the Millwall Supporters Club Russia. They've started up their own branch of the Millwall Supporters Club. Nice stuff. And the rest of the Russian Lions will be cheering on England. Yes, good stuff. But it won't stop the Anglophile footy fans of the Millwall Russian Lions who've said that they will be toasting 3 Lions at the World Cup with St George's flags hanging, pints of London Pride beer, and plates loaded up with fish and chips. The Russian fans are proud to back both Millwall and England. And every week they congregate at Churchill's pub in Moscow, which bedecked with football merch and nods to the United Kingdom. It even had a traditional red phone box outside and make sure to show English matches on the television, especially Millwall games. Yes, because obviously they are abroad, so they can watch the games at 3 o'clock on a Saturday. So, I mean, good stuff. Fantastic stuff. So the war's made things tough for the Russian Lions, and they've called for peace, urging Putin to stop the madness in Ukraine. Tensions have sadly put a stop to them travelling to London to visit Den to watch their beloved side. Well, that's not a visit. And they are heartbroken that they can't even get London Pride anymore due to sanctions being placed on Russia. Maxim Prokorenko, 42, head of the Russian Lions, however, told the Sun online all these troubles won't stop from cheering on England at the World Cup. He added they have had St George's and Union Jack flags at Churchill's pub, but they don't hang them or carry them outside anymore due to the politics. The pub is bedecked with football memorabilia and scarves. It also has pictures of Winston Churchill and British kings hanging around the bar, which is lovingly crafted to look like a classic boozer. We will support England. My strong opinion is that the sport is above the politics, Maxim told the Sun online. The political situation between our countries is not good, but it's just football. I have many friends in Ukraine. We keep on chatting. They're sending me pictures and videos from the den. I hope I will be able to come to London to see my Millwall again. So do I, my friend. So do I. Maxim said he believes England deserves to win the 2022 World Cup after the Three Lions are breakingly missed out at Euro 2020 in a gut-wrenching shootout against Italy. He and his pals will be adding their cheers and chants for England, some 2,000 miles from Doha and 1,600 miles from the UK. Maxim said, England, every tournament, has a very strong team, but every time after 1966, something is going wrong. I can't explain this witchcraft. He joked that England should replace Gareth Southgate with a manager like bumbling fictional coach Mike Bassett and play 4-4-2. However, despite vowing to cheer on England, he said he didn't know who will win the World Cup. I don't want to be like Pele saying rubbish predictions every time, Maxim told The Sun online, but added he thinks Serbia could have a chance to pull off a shock. No, Serbia will not get out of their group. They will get Switzerland will get out of that group, runners up. And speaking of the home of English football in Russia, Churchill Pub, he said he loves the venue, saying it represented proper UK pub culture in Russia. It has that unique English pub atmosphere. That's why we chose it as the home for Russian Lions, explained. But he bemoaned the absence of his favourite beer, London Pride. So he doesn't run the pub. Who runs the fucking pub then? Is it run by the MI5? Be a clever way to have like a British spy base there, like obviously obvious, like you wouldn't expect it, like they're being blatant. Like this is the spy base for the MI5. Like it's so glaringly obvious that you think they wouldn't do that, would they? Russia is under sanctions now, so we can't get it now. Either we still have good choice of ales, a lager and spirits, he told The Sun online. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Obviously, I hope that's for Halloween. Oh, they've got a World Cup. And then they were watching the Bristol City Millwall game. I usually drink bitter ales or stouts, and I love Scotch pie, fish and chips. A drum of good ILS smoked Scotch is a nice choice in a Russian cold climate. Russia will not be competing in the World Cup this year, despite being the host nation in 2018. FIFA kicked the side out after numerous nations vowed to refuse to play against the final stages of qualification due to Putin's invasion of Ukraine. The war has seen Russia become a pariah state with strained relations at the UK, US, and other Western nations at breaking point, sparking fears of World War III. However, Maxim and his friends have vowed to rise above it all in the name of a shared international love of the beautiful game. Maxim previously explained he was introduced to the club while working for a British building firm on a job in Russia. Most of the workers there were from Birmingham and supported Birmingham City. But two lads were Mill fans, he previously told The Sun online. They told me about this small club, and the Brummy said Mill fans are the most terrible and craziest in the whole world. So I thought, that's it, this will be my choice. All English football fans are afraid of Millwall. It will be a proper club to support. Millwall Supporters Club Russia helps grow and continue the Lions fan from Vladimir Putin's nation to get to games, organising tickets and transport. Before being stopped by COVID and then the Ukraine war, Maxim's pals would try to get to games 2 or 3 times a year. He shared with The Sun online numerous pictures of him at the ground, including posing with players in the club's former owner, Dragon's Den star Theo Betis. The fans are ordinary people, the descendants of dockworkers, said Maxim. These are people who say and do what they think. It's very close to outsiders. One might say a family club. They do not like outsiders. But if you got into a family, it would be 100% yours there. Fans groups for Millwall exist across Russian language social media site. BK, with forums active where fans can discuss the lines. Millwall are currently mid-table in the Championship as hopes of promotion to the Premier League ebb away for the side from Birmingham. What? Millwall are currently mid-table? Table's got 24 teams in it and we're 6. We're not fucking mid-table. We're quarter way up. Fuck you talking about, you fucking div. As hopes of promotion to the Premier League ebb away from the side from Birmingham. What are you fucking smoking? Who wrote this shit? Where's Paul Jiggins, man? This wouldn't happen if he was still around. Henry Holloway. What do you want to guess? This scrote's probably a fucking West Ham. Mid-table, and our hopes are fading away. Sure thing, buddy. Anyway, Russian Millwall fans there. Interesting stuff. I would love to go there. Moscow. Is it Moscow? Yeah. Oh yeah, Moscow. Yeah, why not? It's. I would say hopefully Millwall play a game there. That's not gonna happen ever. But talking of the World Cup, they're supporting England in the World Cup. South London Press have done this thing where they've gone through all the squad and picked out links to the South London teams. Now I kind of did the same thing the other day, and I didn't really see any Millwall connection. But obviously, I missed. There is one. I missed the most glaring one because it's quite obvious. It's quite a big name. So England captain Harry Kane scored 7 goals in 22 matches on loan with Millwall in 2012. The Tottenham forward has 51 goals in 75 matches for 3 nights. That's it. That is Millwall's only link at the World Cup. We've got a former lonely player, Harry Kane, who scored 7 goals for us in 22 matches. He's the England captain, of course. That's the only Millwall link at this year's World Cup. So, is he going to get the Golden Boot again? I think he got it last time out, didn't he? Even though we didn't actually win the tournament. I don't know. His form so far recently for Tottenham has been a bit patchy, isn't it? A lot of people bigging up the Argentina, Uruguay, and Brazil. I'm bigging up Mexico. I think they're gonna love the fucking heat in the desert. It's gonna be like a home from them. The only thing with Mexico, they got a few injury problems, but yeah. But Harry Kane, that is it. That's the Millwall link at the World Cup. Harry Kane. So there you go. Now we're gonna finish today's video with this. This is a job offer advertisement from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall hiring part-time under 11s assistant coach. Millwall Football Club is hiring a part-time under 11s assistant coach. The role will include the organisation and management of individual and team development in the foundation phase. The successful candidate will be responsible for implementing the coaching philosophy, visions and values of the academy and the club as a whole. The part-time role will involve flexible working hours in conjunction with the academy's training and games program. And to apply, you must complete this application form in addition to sending their CV and a cover letter to recruit@millwallplc.com, and closing date for applications is Friday the 2nd of December. So you've got 2 weeks if you're interested in that. And there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.